Yo, what is going on everyone? Thank you for joining me for another manga chapter review, and in today's video we're going to be going ahead and taking a look at the brand new chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter 240 titled Idiot Survivor, Live On. And before we get started into the video guys, I want to go ahead and say thank you guys so much for all of the support you guys have shown on the previous videos. It has been a handful of weeks since I went ahead and did one of these manga review chapter reviews, but I am back and I want to go ahead and start back up, as well as upload some theory videos that I have kind of cooking in my archives that I've sort of recorded over the weeks while being busy, but just not really having the time to go ahead and edit as well as throw out for you guys. So if you guys are interested, I will be having some theory videos on Jujutsu Kaisen, as well as my thoughts on what's taking place in the anime since it is in the Shibuya arc. Just quick disclaimer, absolutely peak, amazing. Map is doing a 11 out of 10 job. But if you guys are new to the channel and like anime and manga related content, consider sticking around and subscribing, as well as liking the video if you did like today's video, as well as leaving me a comment in the comment section below about what you thought of the chapter and what you think may potentially happen next in the next chapter or the chapters to come for Jujutsu Kaisen. But with all that out of the way guys, let's just go ahead and jump into the chapter already. Starting chapter 240 off, we are brought to a meeting taking place with all the current sorcerers before the battle of Gojo in Sukuna takes place. During this meeting, Kurusu and Angel devise a plan for their situation in the event that Gojo is defeated. With this plan, they search for ideas on what to do with Kenjaku, seeing as their gaze has been averted from him amidst the inclusion of Sukuna. Seeing that even if Gojo is victorious in this battle with Sukuna, their situation would still be unfavorable, as Kenjaku would still have multiple options still unknown to them. With each tactical option proving to be a stalemate on both sides, the struggle to come to a concrete solution on just how they would deal with Kenjaku becomes more and more troublesome. With multiple sorcerers such as Meimei and Kusakabe not being suitable for taking out Kenjaku, it is then that Angel decides to suggest a rather peculiar pick in the form of Takabe Fumihiko. Hikari and Kusakabe taking Angel's suggestion in jest, Angel then presents information that not even Takabe himself is aware of. Before we can hear of Takabe's technique properties and its weakness, we transition to the fight now taking place against Takabe and Kenjaku. Kenjaku being stunned at the fact that his attacks are being negated by Takabe, Takabe then in typical fashion decides to tell Kenjaku, "Listen here, mullet boy, even a kid could beat you." Now toying with Kenjaku, Takabe's technique sees Kenjaku sporting a bandana with shades on. Kenjaku, still perplexed at the nature of his technique, he tries to suppress his confusion and uses 1,000 years of expertise on cursed techniques to unravel the mystery. Deciding to cease combat for the time being, Kenjaku asks Takabe who he is, with Takabe giving himself an introduction and boasting on his placement in last year's P1 tournament. Kenjaku taking jabs at the fact that the tournament in question is where all of the worst comedian acts go, before asking him if he's Nabe Nabe. Kenjaku, now realizing slowly of Takabe and his cursed technique, he begins to indulge the comic nature of Takabe and starts to display his knowledge of comedy. Takabe being caught off guard by how much he presumes Kenjaku to like comedy, he then questions him on why he's doing what he's doing within the culling games. Kenjaku, slightly perturbed on having to answer this question twice in one day, says that it seems to be entertaining. With more back and forth of Takabe and Kenjaku's ideals on entertainment and why Kenjaku seeks such ill entertainment from the culling game, Takabe uses his technique to inscribe words on the cheek of Kenjaku and provides him with a mirror, telling him that he'll give him a free one-liner. Kenjaku begins to dismantle the poorly concocted joke. In doing this, Takabe's mental fortitude and confidence of being a comedian slowly dwindles. With this, Kenjaku finally finds the secret weakness of his cursed technique, in it being the resolve and confidence of Takabe in his comedic nature. Now gaining all of that he needs, he resumes the fight by blindsiding Takabe amidst his harsh criticisms. Takabe telling Kenjaku that he doesn't care if he thinks he's funny, as long as everyone else does. Takabe then issues a staring contest to Kenjaku, but Kenjaku gains the upper hand by making funny faces, causing Takabe's confidence and resolve to dwindle even further. Now delivering multiple strikes to Takabe while throwing one-liners of his own, Takabe begins to question the very reason he is a comedian. While soul-searching for an answer of his existential crisis, he discovers the body of another familiar Culling Game member from before, this player being Iori Hazanoki. Laying lifeless, Takabe observes in total disgust and shock, with Kenjaku now reappearing and asking him, "What's the matter?" As we begin to end the chapter, Kenjaku, still toying with Takabe's mental state of being a comedian, tells him to laugh. "You are a comedian, aren't you?" Takabe, now seeing no light and wondering why he even is a comedian, we close the chapter on a thought-provoking question of him asking, "Why am I a comedian again?" What will happen next, as Kenjaku has now learned the weakness of Takabe's technique? Will Kenjaku further plunge the amateur comedian into further despair? Or will Takabe find his answer to continue his comedic ways and make others smile? And alright guys, that is going to go ahead and wrap up the chapter synopsis of chapter 240. Now we're going to go ahead and move on over into my thoughts and review of the chapter as a whole. And man guys, whoo! Oh my lord. What are they calling him now? Kenny? I've seen people calling Kenjaku Kenny now. But let me tell you something. Kenjaku was like cooking this chapter, man. I'm really excited to see Kenjaku back into the fight now. I know after we got the absolute craziness that was Gojo versus Sukuna, I think it's pretty appropriate that we go ahead and switch gears back over to Kenjaku, because Kenjaku, you know, even though he's been pretty prevalent the entire series of Jujutsu Kaisen, there's still a lot, and I mean a lot, of questions surrounding him that I really want answers to, as well as just seeing more of his sort of like what kind of curse technique tricks he has up his sleeve. We saw a lot during the fight with him and Chozo and Tsukumo, but I think we're going to see even more displayed in this fight versus Takabe. But let me go ahead and just rate and review the chapter as a whole. I'm going to go ahead and give it a strong 9 out of 10. I really like this chapter, and I really give it that highly of a rating, just because, correct me if I'm wrong guys, this chapter was long as hell. I felt like this chapter was easily like 30 plus pages. Like, there was just so much to like go ahead and unpack in this chapter. So I think there was a great amount of content within this chapter. A lot, you know, great action, lots of dialogue, lots of narrative. So there was a lot for this. Was not a skimpy chapter by any means. I know we saw, like, previously there's been some chapters that have been pretty quick and to the point, and it, you know, you read it in like 30 seconds and you're like, wait, that's it? No. But this chapter was definitely not it. There was definitely a lot for everybody in this chapter. So I want to go ahead and just take a look at I just want to talk to you guys about the sort of like curse technique of Takabe. Now, even like when we first saw Takabe, when he sort of like was helping out Megumi versus Reggie and Hazanoki, he like, it was already told to us that his curse technique even rivals Gojo's. So it's like, I think this is like absolutely crazy. Now, I don't think the weakness of Takabe's curse technique is necessarily in the resolve of his comedic, him being confident in him as a comedian. I think it's something else. I think we could see like some crazy shift in Takabe's like demeanor, or something. You know, he may have a flashback. You know, have like, you know, a more reinvigorated version of himself and be able to go ahead and bolster his curse technique. But I mean, obviously this is like a fight that like probably not a lot of people are like super pumped about. I mean, you know, it's gonna kind of hard to be like you know, the following act after Gojo versus Sukuna. But I like this. You know, it's a good battle. Takaba has yet to be fleshed out, so I want to see more of Takaba. I want to see more of his curse technique, and I want to see more of Kenjaku. So I'm really interested and looking forward to this fight. I wonder what you guys have for theories, or what you guys think in the comment section below. Just as always, I always love reading your guys' comments and theories and all that good stuff in the comment section. So please spam the comments on what you think is going to happen and what you think of this fight, as well as what you think could happen with Takaba and his curse technique. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for me, guys. I don't really have too much else to say about this chapter, except it was really good, and it just had a lot. It had a lot of comedy, a lot of, like I said before, narrative, a lot of dialogue, a lot of combat. So just overall a very good chapter from Jujutsu Kaisen this week. But that's going to go ahead and do it for me, guys. If you guys did like today's video, go ahead and consider liking the video. And if you guys are new to the channel, consider sticking around and hitting that subscribe button, as it greatly helps out the channel, and you'll also be informed on whenever I drop more videos. And if you guys do like this video and have some theories and comments on what's going on in the chapter, what you think is going to happen next, don't hesitate. Always feel free to go ahead and leave your thoughts and your theories in the comment section below. That's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and see you guys in my next video. See ya.